What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about the most volatile stock on the market, and that is good old Faraday Future. I want to go over some of the data points, what's been coming out from the company, and just generally where I see things going. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently it is down 1.68%. It did have a quick spike very first thing to around $3.18, but I think that's kind of normal. Any stock that goes down about 20+% the following day, there is some level of a rebound, but kind of short-lived in Faraday's case. Based on today, there's about 1.8 million shares being traded. 8 is the average. When it comes down to some of the recent updates that's been coming out from the company, you kind of have everything. You have the good, you have the bad, and you have the ugly. So I'm going to go over all of it. Starting off with this, the most recent one I do believe or came out today or yesterday, but it does say Faraday Future appoints 𝗪𝗧𝗪, senior legal executive with extensive U.S. public company experience. So I think this is fairly good news and might also signal something bigger coming. Because based on this news that came out on September the 7th right here on how I guess Faraday is going to be helping with long-term growth and shareholder value, they do allude to a potential legal action against perceived market manipulation. So one thing that you would do is really vamp up your in-house legal counsel, meaning this individual right here. So I think it is maybe in works down the pipeline for Faraday to actually go against a lot of these perceived market manipulation schemes that is out in the market. And yeah, definitely that might be very good for Faraday, similar to what has recently happened with Mullen Automotive, where they did go against a lot of the toxic lenders. They did kind of call out TD Ameritrade and Schwab, and I believe one other one as well, Fidelity, if I remember correctly. So you never know, this could really result in something fairly good in the next short term. But other than that though, there was this news that did come out on the 21st. Unfortunately, I haven't done a Faraday update since then, but I really like this news. So this is the very good news because it does signal that a lot of the VPs and upper management are allocating at least 50% of their salaries for the next 3 months towards purchasing of stock. So I think that's a fairly good thing. And the stock that they do purchase is locked in for up to 180 days. Unfortunately, the only negative to this though, it says that the company is going to be issuing. So I think that is going to be dilution. So it's not really going to be taking off of the secondary market or the open market. It's going to be issued shares. So this is good news in theory, but still a little bit more of a small dilution aspect. So something for you to keep in mind. But over and above that though, on the 22nd, on Friday after hours, there was an 8K that was filed where it just shows a amendment to the pre-existing agreement that came out, I think in June of 2023 between Faraday Future and FF Simplicity Ventures LLC. So I haven't fully read all of this, full disclaimer of based on that, because it is 47 pages. I just read the first couple, and based on my perception of reading this, it's just another toxic lender that is joining the group ultimately. So this is not good. And there was a video, or I guess essentially a Twitter space called I posted on YouTube. So I highly recommend you guys listening to this. It is roughly around 32 minutes. It does say Mullen Automotive in here, but technically the discussion all 32 minutes, there's absolutely nothing associated to Mullen whatsoever. It is just 𝗪𝗑𝗧𝗛𝗧, who is a lawyer, who talks on how there is a lot of toxic lenders and how technically a lot of companies get into the scenario that Faraday Future is at right now. So if you do have 30 minutes and care about your investment with Faraday Future, or plus a lot of other stocks out there, highly recommend you guys just listening to this 30 some odd minutes. So I'll have that in the description below for you to kind of listen to that. So this one is kind of the good aspect to kind of counter this negative news, in my opinion. Of course, based on this might be completely different, but this is just my perceived interpretation of this based on the warrants and just the dilution. Especially I think it's around 8 different tranches of payments, which is completely horrible. That's just going to bleed Faraday Future dry. So let me know your thoughts. Over and above that, I'll go over options. So $34,000 in calls being purchased versus 17 in puts. So based on this information, people are anticipating for it to trend up. If you are optimistic, showing the calls, it is anticipated to be around the $3 range by the end of this Friday. And plus, if it does close over that $3 mark, there currently is around 4,000 in open interest that market makers are going to have to cover. If you are bearish and negative on the company, it is anticipated to be roughly a sub $2.50 by this coming Friday. So Both extremes, unfortunately. As of right now, there has been no transactions on the secondary market over $100,000. There was, it looks like, no transactions even on the dark pool for today. So kind of quiet, but that does match the lower volume that I did mention at the very beginning of this video. I'll start off by going over shorts because that is linked to obviously dark pool and things like that. So short score is currently 76. Utilization is 75.55%. As of right now, 28.47% of the free float is being shorted. 4.59 million shares overall are being shorted. Shorts are currently increasing 111, or I got to 112,000 shares. Cost to borrow is currently 16.68%. So when it comes down to Faraday Future, with it almost at 30% short interest, that is absolutely insane. So going back to over this individual, when and if they do announce that lawsuit against the manipulation schemes and just misinformation that they did state on the 7th, on September 7th news, then you should see a pretty big squeeze, because that is exactly what did happen with Mullen Automotive when they did announce their lawsuit. So that might be coming down the pipeline, like I said, but this is absolutely crazy to see 30% short interest. And just to put that in perspective, as of right now, that does work out to be almost about $13.29 million worth of shorts. And factoring in the current market cap is 61 million. That is crazy high. But keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. As far as some points to really watch for with it, currently at $2.92, it is between this S3 and this S2. So it did actually conveniently bounce off of this S3, so the $2.70 mark, because 271 is the low for today. So I do feel that it is going to pound this S3, and hopefully it does hold. If not, then it is going to be most likely in unknown territory. It's just going to be the hold numbers. So around the $2.50, $2, that might be the next kind of stopping points for Faraday, and vice versa. $3.30 is going to be that next strong resistance, which didn't really come too close to today. Other than that, though, looking as far as this, number of retail investors have been slowly getting back into Faraday, so they have been taking advantage of clearly the discounted prices. Stochastic is currently at 8, which is considered very oversold, but no defined trend right now. So let me know your thoughts overall on Faraday Future in the comments below. Are you buying? Are you bold enough to buy? Or what's your take on this as well, this agreement that they did disclose, it looks like on June 27th, 2023. Do you think that this is good? Do you think this is bad? What's your kind of take on all this? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And take advantage of these promos like I've been sharing with you. Only a couple days left up until September the 30th. Link in the description below and also the comments. Sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock can be valued up to $2,000, so that is one of the best deals on the market. So take advantage of that while you can. Like I said, only up until September the 30th, and link is in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching, and let's eventually make a lot of money on Faraday Future.